Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel once again. So today is day 2 of herbs, watercolor drawing and painting. So in the previous video we have learned how we can draw thyme and how we can draw coriander and how we can paint all these things with watercolor. So in today's video we are going to learn about basil and rosemary drawing plus watercolor painting as well. Now let's learn how we can draw basil. So create a middle stem. You can keep the stem little bit tilted towards left and right, and then start creating leaf very near to the stem itself, and it has rounded structure having one pointed end as well. So these are more rounded leaves and pointed end like this. So you can keep all these perspective as per your need, and you can keep the direction of these leaves at the back side as well, keeping some overlapping of leaves as well. So I'm creating two bigger leaves left and right like this, and right now I'm keeping it as is. This is the guideline for us, and then I'm creating these two smaller leaf in between, and then we can create a few bigger leaves. So basically the smaller leaves are about to the bigger leaf, and the bigger leaf is little bit invisible because of smaller leaves. So something like this you can do, and you will get a very nice perspective of all these leaves, and this might look more realistic as compared to keeping everything in a same perspective. Now you can add serration as well, not too much but little bit of serration is fine, and then you can trace everything with the help of pen. So I'm using this needle pen. This is size 08 mm, but you can use normal ball pen also to do all these things. It's totally fine to use normal ball pen as well. So let me trace all these things quickly, and then we are going to do some extra shading and detailing into it. Create a middle stem and rub all the unwanted pencil mark which you can see. Now you can create the middle line, and I'm creating this middle line as per the perspective. So this is more tilted towards left and right, so I'm keeping not straight line but curve like this. So because of these curves you will get different perspective as well. Once done with the middle line, you can also create few sublines as well, but let me rub all the unwanted pencil mark first, and then you can create more lines. Again, these lines are not straight, these are curves. So do something like this, and then you can do some extra shading and detailing. So with the help of soft hand, I'm creating more and more fine lines in between these things, and I'm trying to get darker shade in the middle of the leaf rather than around the edges, but you can keep these extra shading and detailing around the edges as well. So let me do one just opposite of what we did. So in this one I'm doing some extra shading around the edges, so I'm getting more darker shade around the edges, but you can keep like first one as well, keeping the darker shade in the middle of the leaf. So these kind of shading and detailing you can do for beautify your drawing, but the agenda is to learn how we can draw all these leaves, so we have done it. Now with the help of watercolor we are going to paint it. I am using size 6 round brush for painting these basil leaf, and this is going to be super simple and fun. You just need little practice around these things. So again my composition is like my drawing itself, but little difference here and there. So you can create a big leaf like this, and I'm using light shade of sap green for the first layer, and then when my sheet is still wet I'm adding more darker shade of green in between. I'm not doing it everywhere, but in between is totally fine, and then just blend it with the help of clean water if needed, or else blend it as is because our sheet is still wet, and you will get different shades of green, and I'm also adding a little bit of sap green as well in between. So something like this you can do to make different shadings around your leaf, and I have not created any guideline for myself with the help of pencil, but you can create a simple guideline for yourself with the help of pencil first, and then you can try all these things. That would be easier for you if you are a beginner, or else you can do directly like me. Now I have created one more leaf which is more tilted towards the right side, and then create few smaller leaves. So this time I am thinking to create 3 leaves. These are 3 smaller leaves that we have created. In our drawing we have only 2 smaller leaves, and then you can create few more leaves. So basically I am using deep green, sap green and little hint of blue to paint all these leaves. So once you are ready with your basic leaf shape, you can add some darker shade in between when your sheet is still wet. Take all your time to paint all these leaves having different shades of green in it, and once done with your basic structure, you can add middle line or middle stem with the help of green color itself. Because of some overlapping of leaves, we are not able to see the stem throughout, and that is what we are actually trying to achieve. Once done, you can keep your painting aside to let it dry completely, because we are going to do some finishing touch in this one, but after it gets dried completely. So let it be like this, and meanwhile we can start drawing our rosemary. So rosemary drawing is very simple. So you need one middle string, and then it has needle like leaves around the middle stem. So again these leaves are throughout the middle stem, left, right, backward, forward. So something like this you can do. So let me rub it, and we can do it directly with the help of pen, because I feel this is not very complicated to draw. So I'm doing it directly with the help of pen, although you can do all these things with the help of pencil first and then trace everything with the help of pen. So I'm creating groups of spikes like this to create all these leaves. Few could be smaller, few could be bigger, and few could be overlapping the middle leaf as well. So something like this you can do as a drawing. These are anyways very fine structures, so no extra shading and detailing is needed, although you can create one middle line around the bigger leaf that you have created. So we are done with the drawing, and our painting is also dried completely, so we can do some finishing touch for this particular one as well. So with the help of 0 size round brush from the miniature set, I'm creating few sub lines and middle lines like this with the help of dark green color. So these things are not mandatory to do, but when you do these things you like it better. So if at all you have fine brush, you can use fine brush to do all these things, or else you can use tip of your bigger brush as well. But for that you need little practice, and you should have little control over your brush. But if you are a beginner, try creating all these things with the help of fine brush itself. Once done with the middle lines and detailing, you can keep it as is, or else you can add little darker shade and then blend it with the help of clean water. Don't overdo all these things, just a hint of darker shade around the middle area, and make sure you are blending it properly so that you can avoid any hard edges. And something like this you can do. I think I'm done with this particular painting. Now we can start with rosemary painting. So create a middle line with the help of pencil, because we need to do some overlapping of the leaves. So I'm keeping the middle line with the help of pencil, and then you can use different shades of green to create all these spikes. Creating all these spikes using a smaller brush is very easy to do. So I'm just pushing my brush and dragging my brush little longer to create something like this. I'm using lighter shade of green, darker shade of green, and I'm using a little bit of blue green color as well to do some overlapping of all these spikes. So you can do all these things until you get satisfied. You can use same color, you can use different shades of green. It's totally fine and totally up to you. So do as many as you like. So I think this much is enough, and you can use brownish color for the middle string. Now you can add darker shade of the green for the leaves, and that is something, it's totally up to you how you like to keep your composition and how many color you like to use. We are almost done with this particular painting. Very easy, right? And it is very easy for beginners as well, I guess. Now with the help of fine brush, again size 0 from the miniature set, I am outlining few leaves which is in lighter shade. This is optional, but if you are going to do these things, you will get nicer effect. So try to outline couple of leaves which are in lighter shade. So I'm doing it very slowly, keeping my lines smooth and adding all these lines around my lighter shade of leaves, and that is all we need to do to finish this particular one. So in today's video we have learned Basil drawing and watercolor painting, Rosemary drawing and watercolor painting. So hope you have liked it. If you want to refer to my previous video for thyme and coriander, you can get a link into my description section. And in the next video we are going to learn 2 more herbs. And I'm almost done with this particular one as well. Hope you have liked it, and thank you so much for watching my videos. Please do share your feedback if at all you have any for me, and see you guys in the next video.